Well, welcome back folks. It's day 2 of my holiday, back out here. The weather's a lot better. It's force 2 northeasterlies, still a little bit lumpy as you can see as I'm moving around, but no wind. Absolute great stuff. Bigger tide today slightly, and I've come to a different mark because yesterday, day 1, just kept catching rays as you will see if you've seen the video. So different mark, hopefully catch some whiting and maybe a cod, but we'll see what happens. When the tide seconds off, if the fishing's no good here, then I'll push out a bit further and try a different spot. So let's get to it, let's get baited up, get out there, and hopefully we'll bag a cod. My first bite. I've been over here about an hour and a quarter, and I've finally got my first bite. It's slow as hell this morning. The tide is running though at the moment. It's generally the bites are slower, but it really is slow this morning. But first bite, let's see what comes of it. See if we can bag our first fish. No, leave it to be. Line and time. Give it line and time. See what happens. Yeah, it's still there. There's still something nibbling on it. feel, see if it's there. No, it's not there. Let's check the bait, see what's going on. Yeah, not even been touched the bait. Very finicky today, very finicky. I've got another bite. Is this going to come to anything? What a massive bite. My gut feeling is it's a strap Conga. That's what I'm guessing. Let's see if I can call it right, eh? Read into it. Yeah, she's on. It's on. Not much of a fight whatsoever, and I've called it right. A little strap Conga, It had that sort of juddery bite about it. There we go. Not the biggest of Congas, is it? But let's get it back. Plenty more of them to come, no doubt. T-bar it on the side of the boat, straight in. Yeah, it's away. Well, my first fish. Not the biggest of Congas, but it's my first fish. So it's not the blank. But it is slow going. Is it slow? Anyway, let's get it all baited up. I'm just waiting for that tide to drop off, and then I'm going to make a move. I'm going to move out further and see if we can catch something a bit different, a bit more fish as well. I do recommend getting the old tub of water for the old hands, wash it off. It's so much nicer than having sticky hands, and keeps everything nice and clean and tidy. Anyway, back in there, hopefully something will happen. Well, I just thought I'd show you the tidal flow charts. So on the Raymarine there, if you scroll across to the symbol, the tide symbol, and click on that, and then click on that again, and then go to more options at the bottom there. Chart current station you want. There's your current. So at the moment, if you follow the curvature along, it'll tell you when the slack tide is and what time it is. So if I move the cursor up, so slack tide is going to be, let's move the tidal down. Come on, come down. There we go. Let's move it down. It's not coming down. Let's move it down. There we go. So at 14:58 it's going to be 0.17 knots, and then it's going to start building past there at 1.69 knots at 17:27. So it gives you some sort of idea the tidal flow throughout the hours and out the day. you can do all sorts of dates along here today, ebb, flood. So let's just do ebb and flood. So the slack will be, it was 2:27 this morning, and the next slack will be 09:58. Max ebb will be 11:58. There we are, 11:58, and the next slack is 14:58. So it gives you some sort of idea when the slack tides are going to be, and easier fishing. Or you can use one of these. Your local area will have one of these. So this is a tidal flow chart. Again, this is for the Solent. So this is for 4 hours before high water. So if you look where I am, so if I put us to the back of the Isle of Wight there, Benbridge there, and the very point there, you got 1.2 and 2.4. So that there is the neap and the springs. So the smaller number is the neap, the bigger number is the spring tides. So it gives you a rough idea what it's going to be on a neap tide. So on a neap tide it's going to be maximum 1.2 knots, and on a spring tide it's going to be maximum 2.4 knots, and that is 4 hours before high water Portsmouth. And these come in obviously different hours before the high and after the high. So it gives you an idea of the tidal flows and that, to help you with your fishing, what sort of weights you're going to need, when you're going to need, and other places you can go. So really helpful for when planning to go fishing. So you can go to any marine store and that they have these tidal flows, or you can buy them online if your GPS plotter doesn't have them. So one way to find out your tidal flows. Hope it helps. Well folks, there ain't much happening here. I've had the one strap and there really is no bites whatsoever. The tide is still flowing fairly well, but I want to go push out a bit further out. I want to get myself all settled in, ready for when the tide starts to slacken off. So I'm at the prime time. Cod fishing in the Solent area definitely is better as the tide eases off. So I want to get myself all positioned in, settled down, anchored up, baits in the water, ready for prime time. So reeling up now and moving off, ready for that to happen. Get the uptider in. There's not a lot happening on the radio by the sound of it. There's a few people chasing whiting, but even that's not been great at the moment. Oh, this lead don't want to pull out at the moment. I'll have to come over here, over the other side of the boat. Yeah, it's away. I've set the wires quite stiff as I'm fishing in fairly deep water, so I want them nice and tight and stiff so they don't break out so easy. Downside of that is when you do want them to break out, it's not always easy. And bugger me, I've got another fish on. Now you do associate these fish really with the summer months. Let's get it in. A nice little starry. Look at that. It's November and we're still getting starries. Never known it. There we are. It's a changing world, isn't it? Changing worlds, changing seasons. Let's get the hook out. Get him back in the water. Well, I've just had a take on the old uptider, and I reckon I've got something on here. Not too sure what it is, but it's poured the lead out. I don't know if there's anything on here actually. Oh yeah, I've got the weight now. I'm guessing it's a dogger. Yeah, it's a dogfish. Is it a dogger? Yeah, it's a dogger. Absolutely no fight at all. The tide is starting to ease off now, which is quite nice. Let's get this aboard. There we go, a little dogger. Anyway, back to normal sort of stamp, really. Trying to twist up. Let's get it back. Yeah, it's away. Yeah, left. Only mouthed the bait as well. So I'll regenerate a bit more bait on there, give it a bit more scent, and get it back out there. Put a bit more frozen lug on there. Do like a bit of lug. Got something nibbling here. Got a feeling it's a Conga, you know, the way its feet going. Really? Here we go. I'm just going to look into it a minute. Still biting. Nope. Strange old bite. Yeah. Into it. Just no fight though. Absolutely no fight whatsoever. It's a little strap. Yeah, little strap Conga. Let's get him teed off and back for another day. Wait another day. I'll take him when he's under a pound. Tide slacking right off now. The boat's going to start to turn shortly, so hopefully the fishing will improve with the first of the young flood. So fingers crossed and all that. Well folks, it's day 2 of my holiday, which I'm fishing all week. Target achieved. Look at that. Cod on the flood tide. Happy days. I really thought it wasn't going to happen. I really did. The bites were just not coming. It wasn't looking promising. But look at that. Look at that coddy. Not the biggest. 5.5, just over. It's bounced between 5.5 and 6. But nevertheless, it's a nice prime cod. Lovely colours. Look at the gaping mouth on that. You see why you need big hooks, don't you? Big baits, big fish. Anyway, keep an eye out. This could be the prime time. Where there's one, there could be more. Well, folks, that's the end of day 2. Had to be cut short slightly. I caught the cod, and then literally in a matter of a couple of minutes or so, got a phone call from a friend that couldn't start their engine, and it was starting to get dark. So I've done the good deed and towed them back, which took a couple of hours. And yeah, shame really, because just as I caught the cod, the bite started to happen, sort of thing. So there was a chance of maybe another 1 or 2 cod, who knows. But there we are. You've got to get these people in need home, and it's the right thing to do. And so yeah, that's it. Day 2 done. Day 3 tomorrow.